Hello, this is a video to show the basic setup of DocAppender using Google Forms. Uh, so it takes a lot of front loading, but the first thing you have to do is set up a folder in a designated folder in your Google Drive. And so I've selected the Google Apps for Education conference, and I just called it DocAppender DA Advisees. So in this folder lives all of the documents that I want to be populated through DocAppender from a Google form. So you can see this could be your class list or your set of advisees, whatever it may be. This is where the documents will live that you want to be populated. So once you've created your class set of Google Docs, you can name them. I chose last name, comma, first name. Eventually you can use these for your own reference, or you can share them with your students so they may see their feedback or notes that you've given to them. So after you've created this folder right here, you're going to start with a new form. So you click New, More, in Google Forms. And then here's your brand new form. The first thing you're going to do is create a question called student name. So I'm going to keep it as multiple choice, but you can also use checkboxes. So you create a student name question, and don't fill in anything as the answer. The reason is that this is going to be the question that will be populated with the document names. You'll see that in a couple minutes. And then you can add another question. Let's say this is a multiple choice quiz, and you want to put in, how did you like using DocAppender? And option 1, I didn't like it. It was horrible. Yeah, right. You can add another option. It was good. It was fantastic. So you can put as many multiple choice questions as you want in this. You can also mix the answers as multiple choice, short answer, or a paragraph. However you want to set up your Google form, all of those answers will be populated onto the document later. So once I have my form done, let's call this DocAppender form setup. Once I have all this done, you're going to need to click on your add-ons to run DocAppender. Now, if you don't have DocAppender, that's fine. You just want to go to the Chrome store and download Google Forms from the Chrome store. This is what the front of it looks like. So once you've downloaded this, given it all the permissions, you are going to see a little puzzle piece here. And you're going to click Add-ons, DocAppender, and then Open Sidebar. So you'll see this fancy little sidebar opens. And the first thing it's going to ask you is, what is the target doc folder? So this is where all of your class Google Docs were, what I showed you at the beginning of this video. So you're going to pick from Drive, and I'm going to search for my Google Apps for Education folder. And inside here is the folder that was populated with all the documents of my class. So I'm going to select that. You don't want to double click in it. You just want to click once, press select. Now, your next step after you click next is select question. Sometimes nothing shows up here. You just got to click refresh list, and it'll give you an option of all of the different types of questions that can be populated with the documents. You want to click the first one, which is student name, and then save and populate. And you'll notice to the left, after I press this, student name will be populated with all of my students. So there you go. All of these answers to this student name question are actually the names of my students in my folder. So the next thing you want to do is click next. Here's where you can include whatever questions you want on the form. So if you want to include a timestamp or a student name, or how did you like using DocAppender. You can click all of the different questions that you'd like to include. If you're using the same rubric to mark many times throughout the year and you want to take out a certain section or add a certain section, you can do that by just running DocAppender again. But this is your next step. The last step is to show how you want the results to show up on the Google Docs. So I prefer separate vertical tables just because I like it's sort of a cleaner version. It's also easier for the students to read if you're giving them the feedback. So select separate vertical tables and enable. Nothing's really going to happen. All the changes are done. You just want to click out of DocAppender. And now my DocAppender is running over this Google form. So let's try this out. And I'm going to click the I, which is the preview. It's sort of the view live form of this form. Let's upload maybe a quiz for, let's say, Luke Skywalker. And he thought DocAppender was fantastic. So I'm going to submit this. When I submit it, it's going to automatically populate to Luke Skywalker's document because this is the actual document right here that you've selected. So I'm going to submit. It's going to say thank you very much. If you want to mark another child's test or whatever it is you're marking, you can do another one. But let's go check out what it looks like. So I'm going to go back to Luke Skywalker, and you'll see it was just updated right now. And here's what it looked like. So the timestamp, the student name, and he liked using DocAppender, I guess, very much. So that's essentially the basic setup and run of DocAppender on top of a Google form. Again, you can set the Google form to include any kind of question or create a rubric for yourself to provide feedback or as an exit card or as a quiz, whatever you'd like, and you can populate it right to the set of documents that you chose. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy using DocAppender.